What's up, y'all? I just did a few puzzles and I got wrecked. So let's go over them one by one. So this is the first one. Take a look at the position. I My initial thoughts were to check to lead the queen away, and then through a series of trades here, I would be able to checkmate this blocking and then leading to mate. That didn't work. So the solution was actually to sack the knight first. Um, I'll take a look at why that line doesn't work before, but here the move is to take with the knight. And then now you sack, because now if they take, it's the same mate that I was talking about. But they're not going to take, and then now you take the knight. Or take the rook with the knight. So I want to see why that original line didn't work. And get to see. So here, queen takes. I was looking at something like this. Oh, rook f8. Oh shit. Or something like this. King e7. Yeah, and then the eventual rook f8. So this is why that didn't work. Yeah, I guess let me just see. Because if they did take, then it would be the same mate, right? Yeah. It was, my assumption was just that you had to take, which they didn't have to do. So that was my mistake. Let's keep going. Okay, this was the next puzzle. This is one thing that I keep forgetting, which is, you know, so I spent a lot of time just looking at this check and then running it down with like, yeah, what happens when the king runs? And that wasn't even it. It's crazy. I mean, I was thinking of this idea too, and that wasn't it, because if they take here, you could just win the rook, or win the exchange at least, because they come here and defend it. So that wasn't it either. What was the solution actually? I think. See if I remember. I think it was check here. And let's say we're winning the rook. So it was probably here. Yeah, there. And then, I don't know why you don't go here. Oh, the same idea, right? It's defended. So take, and then from here, it's all about just like trying to remove the king from these squares so that it's not defending the rook anymore. So they gave up pretty easily after that. Let's take a look. Just to dive a little bit deeper, I kind of analyzed this a little bit. But here, king block, rook check, king e2. I was thinking I could continue to check the king. But yeah, it doesn't really matter because the king's just gonna get to safety because all my pieces are back here. This bishop's being attacked and this pawn's also pushing, so that's why I'm ultimately losing. What happens if I go here? Rook b4, attack it. Rook b7. Trying to defend it, and then I'm just pushing, right? And then eventually I'm just gonna lose the bishop for the pawn, I would imagine. Oh. Rook takes f4 check, rook takes c7. Sorry, good enough. Forget that that pawn's hanging. Okay, yeah, on to the next one. So this is one that I actually got. Yeah, this is a pretty common motif where this is getting attacked and then the king's stuck in the corner. For this one, the main thing to look out for is like you have the way that I think about it is like it's like cocking the shotgun, but like you can see here that when you cock the shotgun back, the queen doesn't necessarily have to take because that would lead to the obvious mate, where you take this, come back, king is here, right, and then queen takes, and then this leads to mate. You can block with whatever pieces, but eventually leads to mate. The problem is this bishop's here, and these both defend this square. So if you cock it back to say this square, the bishop can just come in and block. And now, you know, the bishop is right here, queen's right there, king's right there, but like your rook can't make it through. So the main idea is to block with the bishop so that this bishop can't come in. Now, this rook is staring down the file, and the only piece that can block is the queen. And you have another rook, so it's over. This next one I also got, luckily. This one was kind of tricky. I think because you have to move the same piece twice. So off the get-go, you can see that this one's hanging, so you take it, right? And then from here, you can see that there's this check is like the one that comes straight to mind because that would be the obvious checkmate, but the knight is here, so you can't take it, or you can't move there because the knight just takes. If knight takes, you even if you give one more check, this is the only check you got left. The knight can block, or even the king can like come in. Best case scenario, you just trade pieces, right? Trade like this. Then you would be losing because there's these three connected pass pawns. So the trick here is you have to think about this check. Yeah, once I realized that this check kind of, what is it called? Distraction or something like that, some sort of motif. If they come here, actually, yeah, if they don't take it, then they come here, then this is mate. Rook here, so they have to take, and then once they do take, then because knight defends this square, bishop attacks this square, then that would lead to mate. So those moves are forced. Pretty tricky from this spot because like just thinking about it in your head, for me at least, because you have to move this rook twice. It's not that obvious. The obvious move is like this here and then this, and I was stuck on that for a little bit. All right, this is the last one. I did not get this one either. This one's pretty difficult. These were the only moves that came to mind. Those two. This one didn't work. This one didn't work, or I feel like, yeah, I just kept getting stuck on here. Here, push, take, and then you're losing, or draw, draw at best, right? This pawn's hanging. Or they don't even have to take, right? Actually, here, push, take, take. I guess they do have to take. But that's a draw. And now I was thinking about here. Push, take, takes. Wait. What was I even thinking about that? That's just losing. I thought this is the ultimate answer, and I thought that didn't work because, okay, here, here. Here, here. And I'm like losing my pawn. So I just stopped calculating after that. So solution is actually here. And then why does this work? I mean, this is the obvious, like, I feel like computers like giving up. I have to look at why that doesn't work. So this one's obvious. They have to take, and they're blocking their own pawn, right? So it's slower than mine. King takes h4 here. Hold on. Why can I not envision this? Why can I not picture this in my mind? So where were we at before? Here. There. There. Take. And then I guess it's because this pawn like is attacking these squares. I get confused which pawn is whose, which doesn't really make sense, but this pawn is attacking here, I'm attacking here, so I can walk here, and that saves this pawn. So I naturally think here, here, and I'm just stuck because these two squares are attacked. But yeah, I think that's like a king safety thing in my mind. Okay, yeah, that's it. Oh, good job. Good day. See ya.